next reader from Warrensburg. Let's bring on and give a warm round of applause for Dave Wiskur.
Thanks, James. This is an excerpt from an unpublished novel. It's set in the South Bay area of Los Angeles, so if any of the town names are familiar, that's where it's from. And it's about a middle-aged, fairly successful science fiction writer who has lost his wife recently, many years. And he gets a request from a graduate student for an interview, but her dissertation isn't about him. It's instead about another writer, a highly acclaimed novelist that he met in high school and fell in love with. And the two of them basically taught each other how to write. But her ambition and his early success drove them apart, and they ended up marrying other people. And the graduate student, at first she's fascinated by the artistic partnership, but as he begins to reminisce more and more on the interviews, she realizes that the artistic partnership and a love affair can't be separated. And in the spirit of Valentine's Day, the excerpt is from him reminiscing about meeting his wife for the first time. On your left. She came up behind me at a fast clip, and I moved closer to the curb to let her pass. Thanks, she yelled out as she went by, giving me a quick glance and a smile without slowing down. I smiled back, watching her pull ahead. She was tall and lean, with narrow hips, dressed in tiny black running shorts and a white singlet. About my age, possibly younger, perfect posture, back straight, and that hair, a deep, shiny auburn in a braid that reached her middle back. She disappeared around the curve. I didn't pick up the pace to try and catch up. Already 12 miles into an 18-mile run, the public water fountain in Malaga Cove was more on my mind right then than some pretty girl. That changed, however, when the curve straightened out, dumping me onto the little plaza where the fountain was. A large group of bicyclists, all men, were gathered around it. They had passed us earlier. The girl was standing apart, leaning forward, hands resting on her knees, waiting for them to finish. She looked at me as I pulled up next to her. This might take a while, she said. She didn't look happy. Did they grumble about you using the bike lane too? I asked. She nodded, straightening up. There was sometimes tension between runners and bicyclists over the use of bike lanes. Runners liked them because the soft asphalt was more forgiving than the concrete of sidewalks. But to be fair, bicyclists would sometimes have to move into the traffic lane to avoid us. Usually each group tried to accommodate the other as best it could, but there were always vocal jerks on both sides. Yeah, morons, she said. Did they check out your behind as well? Probably, I said, but I'm told it's too bony to warrant the attention. Her frown gave way to a faint smile. She had a delicate mouth and nose and hazel eyes. Freckles splashed over fair skin. Did they say anything else to you, I asked. Nah, I just felt their slimy gazes. She looked over at them in disgust and started to stretch. I hope you didn't find my slimy gaze then, I said. I was kind of admiring you myself. Oh, I felt it all right. She held her arms up straight, bending her torso to one side then the other, and sent me a sly, sideways grin. But it wasn't slimy. I returned the grin. Look, I said, I know where there's another fountain nearby. It'll probably be deserted. Really? Where? I thought I knew this road fairly well. Malaga Cove School. It's at the bottom of the hill beyond those trees. I pointed to the left across the road. Okay, let's go. One of the bicyclists saw us and made some rude noise. We flipped him off and loped across the road, laughing, through the eucalyptus and down a winding side street. Below us was a school at the bottom of the slope about 100 yards away. I'm Dave Welland. I'm Nell Feeney. The slope was steep and the downhill pounding brought some twinges to my legs, but as I loosened up, they faded into the familiar wear and tear of the long run. God, it feels good to move again, she said. How far are you going? Hermosa. I'm meeting a friend at Good Stuff. You know Good Stuff? I nodded. I'm finishing up a 15-mile loop. What about you? 18, I said. I live in Manhattan. We reached a fountain which was next to the grassy baseball field in the shade of more eucalyptus trees. See, I said, deserted. She drank slowly, holding back her braid with one hand. I enjoyed the cool offshore breeze as it rolled up the nearby cliffs, rustling the leaves. The beach cities of Redondo, Hermosa, and Manhattan lay before us. Training for a race, I asked. She nodded when finished, wiping her mouth. PV Marathon. Me too, I said. This is my first long run for it. I bent forward to drink. I'm scheduling 18 next Sunday, she said. It's my first race. Mine as well. I splashed some water on my face. Ready? We started up the hill back to the road, commiserating on how much hills hurt at the end of long runs. The cyclists were gone by the time we reached the crest, and soon the road began to descend into Redondo Beach. You can go on if my pace is too slow for you, I offered. I knew how running slower than one is used to could be uncomfortable. Runner's etiquette, you know. Nell didn't answer at first, and for a moment I thought she might take me up on my offer. Instead, she began a 28-year tradition of delightfully confounding my expectations. This is just fine, she said. Of course, over the final few miles, she pretended not to quicken our pace, and I pretended not to notice.